Beware the eye of the dragon.
You don't happen to have an elephant gun, do you?
Why on earth do you want an elephant gun?
You're about to embark on a very dangerous mission.
Oh, corks.
Son of death, beasts of darkness! I have made them more savage than lions!
I do hope that girl Leela isn't in danger.
What have you done to her?
Nothing yet.
Take my advice. Don't.
Hi everyone, TARDIS Guy 123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Talons of Weng-Chiang. So this is a 4th Doctor story by Robert Holmes. It's the last to be produced by Philip Hinchcliffe, you know, that legendary Gothic horror era, and you know, it's a suitable end to that because it's got a lot of those elements in it, set in Victorian London, 6-parter, bit of a murder mystery towards the start, but it develops far beyond that. And it's just got loads and loads to like in this one. There's lots to love about it. Couple of flaws to the story, but other than that, you know, it's a really good story. So I love the atmosphere created. You know, it's often said that the BBC did period dramas very well, and kind of like this time, you know, the second half of the 20th century, and you kind of like see that coming through here. Because during the Graham Williams era, you know, kind of like, I'm not sure whether the budget went down or not, but you do see kind of like a decrease in quality of the sets, and maybe that's because they're more ambitious. But here, you know, you can kind of like see a lot of the sets working very well, and there are some exceptions to that, like Planet of Evil spaceship set. But Planet of Evil does have a brilliant jungle set, but you know, still, I don't know why it is, but it just feels like Philip Hinchcliffe was a better producer in more ways than one, because he seemed to manage the money quite well throughout the series, whereas often with Graham Williams this time, this is not criticising Graham Williams as a producer, by the way, I'm just kind of like comparing him to Philip Hinchcliffe at the moment, but there are quite a few times in his era where you feel like the money's ran out by the end of the series and whatnot, and I feel that kind of like shows that Philip Hinchcliffe is, you know, often people say he's the best producer of Doctor Who because of the quality of that era, you know, kind of like script and stuff. Also, he was good as a producer in the other capacities that a producer does, you know, and also things like money management and whatnot. And stories like this in the Seas of Doom are proof of that. But anyway, story itself, Weng-Chiang, or Magnus Greel, as he soon becomes revealed to be, you know, he's a good villain for this, I think. But also there's a lot of other elements at play here. You know, wonderful characters such as Jago and Lightfoot, who are so wonderful. You know, they considered giving them their own TV show at the time. Never happened though. But you know, Big Finish have given them their own series now, so that's really good. And they are such wonderfully written characters. Robert Holmes writes his characters so well, really does grasp onto them. He very much plays to their strengths all the time. With characters such as Leela and the Doctor. You know, you kind of like see that right from the start with the Crotons. He very much plays to the strengths of Jamie and Zoe. He doesn't kind of like treat them as just companions to be used in the story, you know, for whatever purposes, but he actually takes their traits, like Zoe being a genius and Jamie being a simple Highlander, and kind of like uses them for the purpose of the story. And you can like see him doing that for Leela here. It's not kind of like a generic companion role, which those characters are squeezed into. He actually deliberately makes it for that companion, and that's very good. That's very signs of a strong writer from Robert Holmes, and you know, it's often said that he's the best Doctor Who writer, and it's stories like this which very much support that. And you know, his writing for characters, you know, even though the Crotons isn't often seen as the best story, it's still got signs that he is such a good writer early on in his career and whatnot. It's still kind of like showing the early stages that you can see that there's potential there, even if it's not fully well realised, problems that go beyond the script. But anyway, enough to talk about the Crotons. Let's move back to Talons of Weng-Chiang. It doesn't drag at all either. You know, it's very strong pacing wise. There's no really moments like if you remember a while ago with the Seeds of Doom review, I did say it dipped a bit towards the middle. Here, that's not the case. It remains strong all the way through. There's enough tension to carry it through, and there's enough plot twists to carry it through as well, like the introduction of Magnus Grill and whatnot, and you've also got other villain characters such as the Peking Homunculus Sin, who's very creepy, I feel, you know, kind of like Deep Roy, I think is the actor who plays him, and he gives that very creepy, off-settling element. You know he's not human, and also that laugh. I'm not sure if Deep Roy did that laugh or not, but that laugh is very effective. You know, it's quite terrifying, to be honest, and you know, kind of like his slow advance towards Leela and the other characters at times with that knife. You know, just the almost waddle walk with the knife. It's very well done, I feel, that character, and you've also got a lot of humour in the script as well. Some of which comes from that character, but you know, most of it comes from other characters such as Jago and Lightfoot and whatnot, and the Doctor himself and Leela. But it's not humour that kind of like devalues the script. It very much fits the script a lot of the time, and you know, I feel Robert Holmes writes that kind of stuff very well as well. You know, kind of like a lot of the theatre stuff with the character of I've forgotten his name, Casey. That's it. You know, you get a lot of good stuff there, and there's a lot of good lines, such as when Jago asks him, "Have you been drinking?" He says, "Not a drop, sir," and then he just goes, "Well, it's time you started." It's things like that which show Robert Holmes as a really good writer, and this is probably his masterpiece in a lot of ways. However, it does have its flaws, and let's talk about that. The main flaw for me is, I'm afraid, the ending, which, you know, right up until that point, it's not bad at all. It just feels like it could have been so much better, because it just kind of, it all feels too rushed. You know, suddenly Magnus Grill dies in such a way after a simple little fight, and then you think it's all over, and the Peking Homunculus comes out now and starts attacking Leela. Yeah, it feels like it could have been done a little bit better. But then you have the Muffin Man scene, and that all comes together quite nicely and provides a very good end to the story. Yeah, it's just kind of like that resolution of the plot feels like it could have been handled a little bit better. Maybe in the execution, maybe in the writing, I don't know. Neither of them lend themselves too well to it. It's not bad at all. I just feel like after such a great story, it needed a slightly better ending than that. But that's the only flaw I can really pick apart in this story. I'm sure there are very tiny things along the way that I could say, oh, that could have been done a bit better if they did that. But, you know, overall, other than that, it's incredible. It all works so well. And I think that's all there really is to say about this. It's a great story, and if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend you do this at once. And, you know, if you like the Gothic horror kind of like era of Philip Hitchcock and whatnot, then you really will enjoy this story. It really is great. That's all I can say about this. It is excellent. And the idea, kind of like the foe from the future idea, that's very good. And while that was kind of Robert Banks Stewart, because he was originally going to write a story called The Foe from the Future, which was a set of Victorian London, and I think, I'm not even sure what the plot was for that. There is actually a Big Finish release adaptation, Lost Story. I haven't listened to it, but, you know, maybe if you want to, then you can. Part of the 4th Doctor box set. But anyway, yeah, you know, he was originally going to write that, but he had other commitments, so Robert Holmes kind of like, he didn't really take the scripts, he wrote an entirely new one, but just kind of like had that Foe from the Future idea in the back of his mind, and utilised that kind of, and it works quite well. You know, to kind of like have this villain who's not alien at all, but merely just kind of like a war criminal from the future, who's kind of like come back in time, and he's thinks very highly of himself as well. You know, the character of Magnus Grill is characterised quite well, I feel. And, you know, kind of like the idea that he's on the fringe of death and whatnot, and he keeps having to revitalise himself through using women, through using the life essences of young women. It kind of like, it fits very well in this kind of like world, I guess, that Robert Holmes has created. And, you know, it copies off of Victorian literature, past literature, whatever you want to call it. It copies off of that kind of like literature side of things a fair bit. But that's not bad, that's good. It kind of helps to set the scene and whatnot. And overall, Talons of Weng-Chiang gets a 10 out of 10 from me, if you didn't see that coming. I'm pretty sure all of you did, to be honest. But yeah, 10 out of 10 from me, without a doubt. That small flaw with the ending of the story, it could have been better, but other than that, it's superb. It really is. It's incredible story. You got loads of elements on display. You got Jago and Lightfoot, who are perfectly played by Christopher Benjamin and Trevor Baxter. They really do give these amazing performances. And then you've also got characters such as Sin and what's his name? Magnus Grill, but no, the other one. I've forgotten his name now. The Chinese magician character whose name is not coming to me. This is so annoying. You know the one I'm on about. But yeah, overall, great story. Whoever that guy's name is gonna annoy me. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. I guess that's the end of it. Next video will be top 10 Robert Holmes stories. Guess which is coming first. Kind of gave that away too soon, but the other stories, it should be a surprise, I guess, the other stories. So look forward to that. I look forward to making that video. I've kind of already started, but anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.